Good day, everyone. My name is Louise from the Lipsy Place, and I'm sharing an idea with you today about retelling in oral language and writing. So I'm having a go at using a platform called Loom today, which a colleague introduced us to last week. It gives you the ability to have a small video of yourself and background information that you can actually annotate as well. I won't try that today. Sheena and I have decided that we're going to do a series of free workshops for May, just while we're all and dealing with distance learning and also not able to probably meet in bigger groups. So the first one's going to be this Thursday. The focus is going to be retelling. We're going to mainly think about retelling within the context of reading. So what I thought I'd do to support that workshop is talk a little bit about retelling in oral language and in writing. So obviously retelling, a fantastic strategy to support our kids in reading, but it's also really closely linked to writing because the retelling genre is obviously slips really nicely over into recount writing. So the idea that you're putting things into order, into a sequence. So students can do recount writing around personal experiences, but it's also a really powerful thing to retell stories in writing, particularly with younger kids, because what they get to do is write longer pieces of writing, but they have a structure that they know that helps them organise their ideas. So that's a really good one to do. And obviously, once kids get good at retelling, you can do innovating on text, so changing characters, changing settings, changing perspectives. So retelling fits very well into our writing programs as well. But it starts from oral language. So if kids can retell orally, it's going to support their reading and their writing. So in the oral language book, we have a series of talking strips. And these have been really successful to help kids with sequencing and with speaking in sentences. And one of these talking strips is a news talking strip. And you can download this one from our website, the Literacy Place. It's the talking strip one there. It's in the oral language resources. And you can download it there, and it looks like this. So there is an extension one and there is a junior one. And as you can see from that sequence, it's just getting the kids to introduce their piece of writing, their news, do their when, their who, their where, their what happened. And the senior one has those extra sentence starters there to really help the kids think about adding events, and then you have the feeling at the end. So this is a great resource in our classrooms, but we think it can also be used for distance learning. So we all love news, kids love news, and if we can help our kids to structure and organise their ideas so it's more succinct, I think it's a great way for us to learn a little bit about our kids and what they get up to at home as well. So this has been really successful to support that process. So like anything, we need to be really careful about introducing activities. And I know that the temptation with distance learning is to, we're overwhelmed with resources, so just to, send more and more things to our kids to do at home, but actually less is more. And I think introducing an activity really well, using a video like this, and being really succinct about what you want the kids to do, and then they do that activity, is a really good way to put this gradual release responsibility into action, even when kids are learning at home. So you probably know this well. Sheena and I always talk about it, the idea of the modelled, shared, guided, independent being a really important process. So here's a teacher in the classroom doing that really careful modelled and shared approach, where she's cut up the news talking strip and she's introducing it slowly to the kids and talking it through. You could do that in your classroom, make a video of it, post it for your kids at home as well, or just post it live, so just film it live so kids can watch it. And then the kids could work with the news talking strip. So if they're at school, they could do that obviously with a partner. If they're at home, what about doing it with a family member? What about them recording some news and sharing it with another family member who doesn't live with them? What about doing it orally? And maybe you've got a way that they can do that with your class. Maybe a few kids could record them and send them in, and you could watch them, and the other kids could ask questions. And also, of course, if they practice some news at home using the talking strip, it just feeds really nicely into them then writing that news as well. So I hope that feels like a useful resource that you could use in your classroom, and also to support distance learning.